turning to crushed stone or gravel, they have underground utility on them, correct?
They do. Yep.
We did one experiment with that up on North Washington at the county line there. It didn't go very well. The residents up there, and there wasn't much of a base there to work with, but it didn't go as well as, it was not a good answer turning into gravel.
No,
Right.
no.
Cemetery got used a lot.
But you know, the truth is that a lot of times, and we do this with the pipes too, when we do our public presentations about this, we say, look, it's your money, you know, to all the public, that's where we get it. It doesn't come off a tree or come magically out of somewhere, so it comes out of your pocket. You tell us how you want us to administer the system. What level of service do you want out of it? And if you want to turn the streets all to gravel, we'll do that. It's okay, we'll let them go. And as long as I think it's a choice for everybody, that helps. It's that part of, it's not just being dictated, you know? And people come to those conclusions, right? It's that idea of, yeah, gravel doesn't work for us. Well, okay, no problem. Then we'll figure out how to help you get to the level of service you want.
How long ago did you do that gravel?
Washington
2 years ago,
ago,
3
years
years?
ago, yeah. Longer than that, 4 years ago or so, right?
It was gravel when I got here.
Right.
I think it was for about a year it was gravel.
So they would run the cemetery roads to avoid
They
it.
can stay on that.
And I don't know how many times the DPW would send people down there to try to grade it.
Yeah, it's pretty routine.
It was just
Washboard all the time.
it was bad.
Although I think I've shared with you, when we did Donna Street, the first day we ripped off all the pavement, and a guy ran out of his front porch and yelled, "Stop, stop, stop." And we go, "No, sir, we're going to redo this." He says, "No, stop, stop. This is the best the road has been in 20 years. Don't waste your money. This is perfect. Thank you so much." I said, I mean, there are some roads that are like that.
Yeah.
They're better off crap.
And there's maintenance on a gravel road too,
Yeah.
especially in the
Especially,
summer when it
yeah.
gets dusty and I got my laundry hanging outside, you know.
Yep. Well, and it starts to, you add the gravel and the dirt, and it starts to mess up your storm system
Yeah.
after a while.
It
So
does.
yeah, there's some
Yeah.
downsides to doing that as
Right
well.
on the yard.
Plus, we both have black cars. So
That
it's
is
not
true.
gonna work. I'm gonna need to borrow that car wash.
I know, yeah.
What's your next step, Brian, with everything?
So really, it's a matter, I think, is deciding what roads you want to stick in each year. It'd be going map by map and deciding what makes sense. So again, avoiding those roads that we have utility projects that are going to touch, or these spot repairs that are going to touch, and then just go year by year. Look at how many lineal feet of each fix are available based on the funding mechanism you want to try. Because as you can imagine, there's a fair amount of effort that's going to go into creating 10 years worth of maps. So it's really a matter of what funding mechanism makes sense to you.
The underground study we did, you know, where they smoke test and camera, and
Yep,
so that's, all that information now you have. and
that's all
this
it
is
is.
what
That's the
is
result.
driving this to, so
Correct.
is there a grade scale now to the road that says your sewer, and you got half of the water's bad?
Like an overall,
Yeah.
top to
See
bottom.
what I'm saying? So you
grading.
could grade a road by what's underground.
Yeah, the whole
with-
package.
Yep, everything all at once. As a jump off point to where you could allocate the dollars, whether we say, okay, well, this street's in such bad shape below ground and above ground that we need to make this priority.
Oh,
One that has a bad top, but its underground is good, we can wait and come to that, but address our worst first and then go forward.
yeah, so I think that's kind of where you're at with this map. So again, it looks the same for each year, right? So any road that's touched by either, this is a green box because it's the 2019 year, this is the map I have up is 2019. This section of road gets redone with the utilities in 2019. And although this map doesn't show which year it's in, every street that's got black boxes around it will be touched because of utilities.
So Monroe's kind of like a 3-year plan according to your.
Right, correct. So
if
we
we
hit
put the
one
road-
chunk.
Can you move those black projects around though? I think
No.
what he's saying
No.
is you're setting, you can't.
So these black boxes are set by the utilities.
Okay.
Yep, so those are
So
done,
even
but,
if we put them on top and the road is,
correct,
one-
so what it
one-
means is you are not
Wait.
going to, like, here's this good block right here.
right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna do a road project in this block, because the utility project will take care of it. So that means when,
Yeah.
once you guys decide how much money you wanna spend on roads, then, you know, Dave can work with that and say, okay, I can stick so many blocks in a given year, because that's what we have money for, and I'm gonna avoid any areas that have black boxes on them. And you know you won't be overlapping any work.
Why is M21 then boxed in? That's not a cost to us.
No, you won't be rebuilding M21, we just have some utility work in there, we're trying to show where they all are. So if anybody says, well, why are you doing work on this section of M21? We can say, okay, we're not rebuilding M21, but we do have some utility work there. It's just to make everybody, just to be very transparent about where utility work is gonna occur. So this map, anywhere there's a black box or a black dot, there will be, at some point, a construction crew working on something underground.
You said the red dots are for that year? For where
Correct,
the map
yep,
is
so we have some spots here that we're taking care of in 2019.
When we put, for road funding, we put in, we put in a, Monroe Street, we already put that's on the transportation improvement plan for 2021 through 2023. So we should hear on that. We also put it in for a small urban project, but I haven't heard, is it on one or the other. And then for Amity, the Amity project, that's the square, we have, you'll get that at the next council meeting, you'll get the request to submit a grant application for that street improvements.
So again, identifying, I think all the work with the SAW, identifying which streets will be touched by utilities, really sets the stage so that you know then which streets you want to put dedicated road monies to, and you know you're not going to have to rip it up again because of utility. Now, barring any really weirdness, you know, it's underground, so every once in a while we get surprised by something that we didn't find. So it won't, I can't guarantee 100%, but 99%, we should never have to rip up a street outside of one of these squares in the next 10 years. Yep, and the idea is that we've also looked at farther down the road, this pavement typically will last 20 to 25 years. And the idea is we shouldn't have any major utility work either under those streets, because we're looking down the road farther with the utilities.
Just to restate that, we as a team really need to know where the council is at. And obviously, the income tax will go to the voters, but if that's something you're going to pursue, that tells us one thing, and we're dealing with that full plate of dollars. If you're not going to do that, then we would have to look at some alternative dollar amount, and that'll change the population of the road work outside of the utility.
I think the income tax is the only feasible solution.
And I do too, and I think we've looked at all the other options, but you're not gonna get anywhere. You're only gonna go backwards. Look how far we dropped in since 2000.
Right. It's up to the voters, but we have to present it well so that they
Educate, yeah.
see the value in it.
We need to educate on that millage reduction, because if you're already here,
Going from
Yeah.
15.7 mils to whether you want to go to 11.7 or 10.7.
then you have to educate them on the alternative too. The alternative is you're gonna get an alignment every 2 weeks, and those are $125.
So was it like 60,000, you would pay $600 additional per year for the income tax if you were a resident? Then you'd get maybe a $300 deduct from the millage decrease, your increase would be about $300. As a ballpark.
One of the things you can do is, East Lansing did this. They put calculators on their website so every person could put their income, their taxable value of their property, figure it out, what it would be.
We need to do that.
Oh, absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely.
The education campaign is really gonna be, I think, make or break. And we can't just go around asking people for a city income tax. It has to be dedicated strictly to the streets and nothing else.
And another thing, I think what you want to do is, obviously the utilities drive a lot of this, but I think if you're gonna put a street plan together, is you can't make it so one neighborhood gets overloaded with all the work to start. It really needs to be spread out, because I don't think that's equitable, because if, say for example, east of the river, it's the first 5 projects, that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, everybody needs to see it in
It
their
needs to
neighborhood.
be, you know, Valley Vista subdivision, Donna, Sibley, those, they need to see it just as much as center and west to the south, as much as Amity and those. It's gotta be, and one of the things with the dollar amounts, we just have to remember, those projected dollar amounts for income tax, it tracks with the economy. So, one thing we always gotta take into account is, with an income tax, it is tracked with the economy. So, those projections are just projections. If we have a bad year, that $800,000 might be $700,000. And that will obviously play a role in what you can and can't do. But those are just things to think about.
And there may be reasons to, ramp up and ramp down too. You look at, remember, these black dots all represent spots we're gonna be going in and digging a hole, and it's, any one spot may take, let's say, a week to do. So if we're doing stuff on the east side that's linear, and those streets are gonna be ripped up for a while, you're still gonna be on the west side disrupting areas because you got contractors. That means you've got trucks and cones and detours set up. So for the first few years, while we get these spot repairs done in conjunction with some of the project work, everybody's gonna get kind of hit. So it's gonna look like a lot of stuff's going on. It's not until we get into 2021 where, even 2021, we've got these spot repairs that get in. Finally, 2022, all the spot repairs are taken care of. And now you're down to just project areas again.
But it's still progress that people
Yeah,
see. working.
It is,
Yeah.
which is something to take into account. So even if you are a little lighter on some of the street projects the first couple years, there's still a lot of activity going on because of the utility work. And maybe that makes some sense as to give everybody a little bit of a break. And that's why we're all so careful where to split projects up. When we did the CIP work, deciding what year projects had to fall in was in part driven by the criticality of the utility, but also in part by trying not to carpet bomb in one particular area and deal with too much disruption in the neighborhood.
Well, either that economy, we'll track, because we're estimating conservatively already, right? But it'll track upwards if that gas tax goes through anyways, because you'll get an additional revenue there. But, she's dealing with the same thing we are. There's a lot of years of inactivity and people passing it on to whoever sits here next.
If the state finds a way to fund road repairs that help us out, and we find that in 7 or 8 years, we're in great shape, how do we eliminate the income tax if we want? Can we turn it off at some
I
point?
think you can. I would think it'd be just a council action.
If we got so lucky.
Then the millage rate would
Yeah,
go
you would need it, whatever, Dick will have to draft, he'll have to draft ordinance, ballot proposals for you and all that. What you need to always make sure is it triggers back to what it was, because
Otherwise,
we couldn't function at, if we didn't have, we couldn't function at 10.7.
Right, but right now, our millage rate is higher than a lot of other
Yeah.
cities, so maybe that's a way to keep it down.
Right. It would put it, actually, it would put it in line with, we are a little bit higher, that is correct. We're definitely in the county, we're not even close to the highest. There's some that are 80 mils. We're not that. You could
Ratchet it back
you could hatch it back if you need
if other funding came in from the
to.
state.
Right,
Not sure what they'll do.
right.
Who's going to be in charge, or how are we going to communicate this to people? Because I'm thinking, all right, we're in the middle of March, and it's got to be on November. So
Could put it in November.
So the sooner we start telling people why and
You
how.
probably want to have some champions in the community help you as well, get that word out. People who've been active in the community, educate them. You're gonna, you have to be careful, because what you cannot do is endorse something, but you can present information on it. You can't just say vote yes on city income tax. You can't do that.
I guess what I want is, who can generate like a one-sheet fact thing? Whose job would that be to do that? So, hey, folks, do you want to eliminate? Are we gonna discuss eliminating services, or are we just gonna say, hey, look, we decided that nobody wants to eliminate the police, nobody really wants to sell off light and power, so this is what we're left with? Is that how we're gonna start to communicate the message?
And I think it needs to be unified with everyone on the council and me. I mean, it has to be.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, we need to have a consistent message that we can all, anytime somebody presses a button, we all say the same thing.
I think Lou said it best, is we need 3 or 4 bullet points, stick with it, that's it, we sell it.
Just over and over and over
And I would
again.
assume, Mike, you would get somebody to help you put that together,
Sure.
professional writers, so that would be like that, and bring it back to us.
Sure.
Well, the sooner the better, because you know how misinformation travels twice as fast.
Yeah.
And then we wouldn't be out there educating, we'd be out there correcting. We need to be educating, not
Yes.
correcting a narrative that's already out there about
Right.
cities raising taxes again, or however it
Right.
gets. You know, by the time it makes it from here down to the gas station, it's 7 different stories.
Right, so, look, if you don't mind, just a second, for utilities, what we've seen in the past, I think in the data that I just double checked and looking up, the median household income, I think for right now, shows at about 61,000, right? For utilities, generally, we've seen most communities, in today's dollars now, we should expect about a $600 a year bill for sewer, another $600 a year bill for water, and overall, whether it's local streets or gas tax money, everybody should be expecting another $600 a year bill for streets, if you were paying them all that way. So with a sewer and a water bill set at around $600 a year, what we find generally is communities, as long as your median household income is roughly a little over $45,000 a year, changes in water and sewer rates are not that big of a deal. Nobody likes paying more, but generally at that point, people have the income that they can manage it, okay? Once we start getting below 45,000, so anywhere between 45 and 35,000, depending on where you are in that range, that's the amount of pushback you're going to start getting from your citizens. So that's when public education starts to get more important. And as part of SAW, we have developed a public education program that will help communities through that. Once you get below 35,000, then the actual ability to pay that is significantly affected. It doesn't matter how much you tell everybody the streets or sewers or water needs it, there's just not the money there to do it. So I guess what I'm saying is based on the median household income currently of 61, that would tell me that generally the citizens would accept whatever sewer water rates are needed to take care of this plan. And so a huge grassroots education effort for the utility changes aren't necessarily needed.
We saw that at the last coffee with council, how much misinformation was out there about the rate increases and what's actually on the bill. And it was just a misunderstanding.
They didn't really
Easily
know how to read their
correctable.
bill,
Right.
they didn't understand it.
So the dollar amount isn't what's going to get them, it's just whether the information is clear to everybody. So I think some of that SAW, so we have that built into the SAW. What makes it more complicated for you guys is you're trying to tackle several issues at once, right? So you have the streets themselves are bad, and then how to fund them. So we could look at the public education program we have for SAW and see if that can be adapted to helping out with some of the communication for the streets. Again, as you guys have seen the maps that we showed before of the conditions, the rating conditions, it's 5 colors. It's really easy to get out there. And we've got posters from the utility side that show what those are. You guys have seen those. Here's a 5 pipe, here's a 4 pipe, here's a 3 pipe, right? Very straightforward, and those can go on posters, they can go on the website, they're super easy to understand. And then once you post a map with the 5 colors, Now, as soon as someone sees a red pipe on the map, that image of what a 5 pipe looks like pops up in their head. We can do the same thing with the roads. So again, some of those materials exist in whatever way it's helpful to you. In communities where we've got, let's say we're in the $40,000 median household income, there's a series of public information meetings that we would normally hold. And depending on how much pushback you think you'd get from a community, also, whatever you would call it, a blue ribbon committee or something like that is really helpful to form. That's where you take a couple council people and let's say 5 or 6 community people who are influential, who get around and talk and that are well respected, highly educate them so that they can be your spokespeople out in the community. And that is a tremendous way to build that good public information program.
So are we gonna need to combine a message of, we want do we have to tell people that the water and sewer rates are going up as well as, oh yeah, we want you to vote for an income tax?
This is where I'm suggesting that I don't think you do.
Okay, that's what.
That's already
Yeah, I
out
think
there.
I think that's already out there. We need to
Yeah.
focus on the roads, and I think your idea of a one-page thing is great. You get some professional help putting it together, and then put it out with our water bills and electric bills for a month or
Put it
And I
everywhere.
like you said, here's what a pipe A looks like, this is B, and then it all translates into the map.
Yep.
I think where we're gonna benefit is the fact that there's red everywhere.
People
No
know what the
matter where
roads
you
are. I don't
live.
think we have to.
Well, no, I'm saying no
demonstrate
matter
that.
where you live, you're not gonna say, well, I'm paying city income tax and my roads are fine, but down here, they need to pay. You know what I mean? There's so many bad roads that everybody's gonna benefit from a road. I mean, couldn't find a street of good roads to get somewhere you needed to go.
91% are
Yeah,
bad, so.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think, Dave's message is really good. If we do this, if we invest this much, we can change this many roads
Yeah.
from bad to good. We can flip that whole set of percentages.
The 10-year chart looks good.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe that little graph of where we're going to get in 10 years is important to be on that one-page spreadsheet so people can see results.
Or where we're not gonna get if we don't do anything.
Well, I think you can put all the pipe examples and all that kind of stuff on the city website, but the income tax,
Roads.
Yeah.
just simple, and we all need to be spreading the word.
So that's what should be our next step then, right? Decide what direction we're gonna take for public information and
Now, are we making the decision to ask with the 4% or 5% millage reduction? That's up to us,
Yeah,
right?
we need to just, you're gonna have to put it on the ballot, but you're gonna have to decide whether you wanna do a 4 mil or a 5.
If we do a 5 mil, does that get us back down to more where everybody around us is? Or is that?
closer to the norm.
You're about, you would be that at 4 or 5. I mean,
But it gets us back into
Yeah.
more of a level playing field with the surrounding
I
community.
don't know that there's a gap enough between 4 and 5 that you wouldn't just do the 5. I mean, you get a better chance of it surviving. The alternative is 0 and then nothing.
Mhm.
So that extra mill is, I think it was 81,000 or 77,000 or something like that.
We-
Or 81% rather.
We generate $99,000 with 1 mil.
Right, but I'm saying that one that Dave had, the 4 mil was 81% good and the 5 mil was only 77.
77%.
And that's without anything that Whitmer and her people might do or might not do.
Right.
So I think 77% up from, what are we at now? 9% or something like that?
Yeah, that'd
You
be,
might as well just sort
Easier
of,
sell
And that
up
fifth mill
with
is
a
an
5
easier
mil
sell.
reduction.
that's my opinion.
Well, can we vote on that?
No.
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 Well, we can get a consensus that that's the choice we want.
You can get a consensus, yeah, you can get a consensus on that, and I can come back with, it's the attorney, you can draft ballot language with it.
And you'd be willing to come back and give us a rundown of that program, the public education?
Yep, absolutely.
The ballot language, that's further down the road.
Yeah.
We need to get going on our
Yes.
one-page
Yeah.
flyer that we can get in the
and I personally like the 5%.
Yeah, I think we have a consensus to 5%.
5%.
Okay. All right, any other questions for Dave?
No?
Any other questions for Brian? For Mike? Rich? Jim?
Make a motion to adjourn at 6:47.
Discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned.
Thanks, guys, for coming in.
Yeah, appreciate it.